Alright, so last we left off, we covered chords. Chords, what they're made of notes from scales, and we did several examples. Now, the next point from here on out is to go over minor scales, or excuse me, minor chords. And then once we have a firm grip of minor and major chords, you can then go from there to talk about harmony. But before we get to that point, which believe me, I want to get there too, because harmony is where it all comes together. I want to have some fun. This is a video which is just kind of overindulgence. Things that you'll figure out on your own, but I figured, what the hell, let me just throw this at you. That's covering other kinds of chords, besides major and minor. So we went over this one, right? Major, 1, 3, 5. We got that. We understand it. It's with us. It's in our heads. Here it is one more time. There's major, okay? In the key of C, 1, 3, 5, which we learned was C, E, G. Now, let's look at the next chord. Oh! Sorry, minor. Okay, minor. See that? It says minor. Now it's 1, 3, 5, but you'll notice what's going on with that 3 right there. What's that? Is that a lowercase b? What's that about? In music, a lowercase b is used to denote flat, which means that you take the note that is next to it and you go down one half step. We know what half step means, right? So to go back up, 1, 3, 5, key of C is C, E, G. Minor, 1, 3, 5, C, E, G. But take that third, which is E, right, in C, and you're going to flat it a half step. E going down one half step is what? It's E flat. So that means the minor, the notes that comprise the minor, C minor, is C, E flat, and G. And which is cool. Take that to heart, where the difference between a major chord and a minor chord is one note, and that one note is changed one half step. That's the difference between major and minor, yet it means all the world. It changes the character of the sound, and it plays a key role in, well, you'll see that later on. So we got major, we got minor, but what else is there? I know there's a lot of other stuff, right? Now let's play around with this one. You guys have seen this one? Aug, which is short for augmented. Augmented. Now, if you notice there, it also has a 1, 3, 5, but the 3 is fine. But now something else is weird. Look at that 5. What's going on with that 5 there? Now, if you look at the flat third, but this one's got a, what is that? Hashtag 5. What are we on Twitter? No, that pound sign, number sign in music is used to denote not flat, but the opposite of flat, which is sharp, which is the opposite. You take the note and you jack it up half a step. So again, in the key of C, augmented 1, 3, raised 5, which is what you say, raised 5, rather than flat, raised, would be C, E, right? E is the third, and then raised 5. 5 is G, so what's a raised 5? What's a raised G? G sharp. So C, E, G sharp. That makes augmented. C augmented. Now here's the gnarly one. Ready? Diminished. Poor diminished. It gets a lot of flack. You know, it does kind of sound not great when you hear it. Kind of. Anyways, again, 1, 3, 5. You got a flat third and a flat fifth. Flat third and flat fifth. So in the key of C, that would be 1 C, flat third, E flat, and then flat 5, which is G flat. So C, E flat, G flat. That's a C diminished chord. Now, what's something in common that you see amongst these chords here? Major, minor, augmented. What do they all have in common? Yes, they all start with 1 C. That's a given because you're in the key of C. Every chord will always start with C. They're all comprised of 3 notes. These are all different triads. These are all different triads. But aren't there such things as chords that use more than 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 notes? You know, when you just slam the whole piano, it does not exist. Sure, it does exist, and those chords do have interesting names. Now, obviously, the world of chords is pretty big, and it's pretty intimidating. But what we're gonna do is that we're gonna dip our toe and explore some of the chords that come, some of the larger chords. So up to this point, we've dealt with 3. Let's deal with 4 notes. 4 notes, and the most common notes, or the first chords that you'll be introduced that use that number of notes. Maybe you've seen these before. We'll cover this again and again in the future, but for now, we're gonna keep it really basic. Here's the first chord. Shit, I hope you can see that. Major 7, C major 7, E major 7, D major 7, E flat major 7. This chord, that 5 is reversed. Oh gosh, all my 5s are reversed. All of them are. I wrote it. Oh my god, I just wrote it reversed again. There we go. Now, the formula to make a major 7 chord is 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Remember when I told you that you really need to know the whole scale? Every note? Yeah, because when you get to more complex chords, you're gonna fuck around with every part of the scale. You know, sometimes you raise the 2nd, sometimes you do something with the 4th or with the 6th. It gets, every single note of the scale must be known. So, in this case, major 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. You play that, you're playing a major 7. So C major 7. You're playing the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 7 of the key of C. So what is that? That is C, E, G, 1 through 5. We already know that. But with an added 7. Now, what's the 7th? All you got to do to find the 7th is start from the 1, which is C, and go back half a step. Go back half a step. What's half a step down under C? B. B, that would make B the 7th note. So if you're playing a C, E, G plus a B, you're playing C major 7. That's what you are. Now, here's a more interesting, and I would argue a more important chord to know, which is dominant 7. Not major 7, dominant 7. Now, when you come across these chords in music, when you come across the dominant, they very never write it out as DOM 7. They never write it out. They just write the number. They just write the number 7. So you'll see E7, G7, A, etc. They don't write it out. They just write the 7. So in that case, what would you be playing in that case? You're playing the 1, 3, 5 again, but with a flat 7. Flat 7. So earlier it was C, E, G plus a B, which is the natural 7. But now you want to do C, E, G plus a flat B, B flat. C, E, G, B flat. It's a very, when you start playing with these chords, when you start playing with the 7 chord, they sound really pretty. These are the really pretty chords. So you want to familiarize with what they're made of and how they're written. Now let's move on. Minor 7. Now this is a minor chord plus the flat 7. And here's a pro tip, is that when you're talking about a flat 7, you never say those two words, flat 7. You never say that, and excuse my stutter. You always refer it to the dominant. When a 7 is flat in a chord, you call it the dominant 7. So in this case, minor 7 would be minor dominant 7. So 1 flat third 5, that's the minor triad, 1 flat third 5, plus a dominant 7. Dominant 7. So flat 7. So in the key of C, C, E flat, G, and then B flat. And now, last but not least, this is a big mouthful. Minor major 7. Minor major 7. Minor major 7. Yeah, it sounds like it's a confused chord, right? It's not. Minor major 7. Now the minor part, the first part of that name, minor major, refers to the triad, the beginning triad, C, E, G. It's minor, so that means the E is flat, the third is flat. So C, E flat, G. The major 7 refers to the 7. It refers to the 7. In this case, it's... Oh, wow, I wrote that wrong. It's supposed to be a natural 7. So a minor triad plus the natural 7. 1 flat third, 5, 7. So in case of C, E flat, G, and a B. You play those notes together, you get minor, major, 7. And that's the first slice. So, acquaint yourself with those, and now you have the tools necessary. If you come across a chord that you've never seen before, like sus2, C6 add 9, you'll know. You might not know exactly what notes you're playing, but you can ask the question, what are the notes from the major scale does this chord play? And then you'll know it's the same in every key. So once you learn it, it's there for life. So C6 is 1 3 5 6. C6 add 9 is 1 3 5 6 9. 1 3 5 6 9. So I know this is just random examples now, but you see there is a method to the madness. C6 add 9, 1 3 1 3 6 5. No, 1 3 5 6 9. So in the key of C, that'd be C, E, G, and then the 6 of C is A, and then the 9. The 9 is the same as the 2, which is in the key of C is D. So you'd be playing a C, an E, a G, and then an A, and a D. That's a big mouthful. But anyways, so you can experiment. You can throw around and create your own chords, or just experiment and things like that. So I hope that kind of widens the horizon as to what you can expect from making chords. So if you got any questions, go ahead and ask them in the description, and I'll get back to you. Have a good one.